In today's episode, we follow an F-150 that goes over a V-shaped canyon carved into the road. And then he pulls to the side, probably not thrilled to have an old Lexus breathing down his neck. We pass and wave, and both rigs settle into their own rhythm. Up ahead, the trail narrows and the ruts get serious, deep and sharp. And we meet two ATVs and we thank them for pulling aside. This stretch is gutted and there is no room for error. And from outside the rig, Tanya captures the steepness of the climb. It's a sharp ascent and the trail tilts hard. And this is Cedar Mountain Trail for you. Welcome. The Tandem Trail and Roger is trailing the F-150 through Cedar Mountain's most technical cut. The road is narrow, it is rocky, and it's deeply rutted. Boulders line to the sides, and the trail twists through dry V-shaped channels. I'm keeping my distance anywhere from about 100 feet to about 300 yards. And it's a tough thing to drive behind someone on such a technical trail. But that's because I want to have enough room, enough distance so I can watch his line. At the same time, I want to be able to choose my own line, and I need that distance to be enough, not too much, not too little. Up ahead, I can see he's bouncing hard. His truck tilts and jolts through the ruts, and I can tell from here. I don't think he aired down enough, or maybe he didn't air down at all. Anyway, I see he's uncomfortable. His tires are fighting the terrain and not flowing with it. I can see the bounce. Every dip throws him sideways, and every rut grabs his suspension and pushes it up. It's a rough ride, and I'm watching it unfold like a preview of what's ahead. So I'm really careful, and I'm trying to choose the proper drive line for us. I also make sure that I observe where he goes, because I would like to choose my own path. I'm certainly not following his exact path. His drive line does feel off, and it's kind of rushed. I'm picking a cleaner line. It's higher, more stable, and tuned to what Roger is, to the weight, to the clearance, and what I'm certain we can do. And I'm driving sometimes slower in some of the sections, because slow is, for me, is careful. And the fast, during fast drives is when things break. There is a rhythm to this kind of a trail, and it's not about the horsepower or how much you press it. It's about patience and being careful. I'm reading the terrain more like reading a map. I can see where there's being pushed aside, where the rocks are exposed, and where the ruts have deepened from years of runoff and tire wear. I'm so happy we changed the suspension of our LX470. The shocks, the Bilstein shocks, the old man emu springs and everything around it, especially the lift, because I can see Roger's suspension is working. But I'm not asking it to do more than it needs to do. I'm letting the tires settle into the terrain, and I'm really picking the tallest rocks, the tallest elements of the road, so I can stay on top. Sometimes I really crawl slowly, sometimes I pose, and sometimes I steer just a few inches off the obvious line, because that's where I can see the grip will be. The F-150 is still ahead and still bouncing, but I'm not chasing him. I am more of a observing and studying him, and I'm letting Roger do what he is built to do. This stretch is a test of judgment, a test of experience. It's not just traction and not just clearance. It's about knowing when to move and when to wait, which driveline to take, when to trust the rig and when to trust the trail. It's all connected. He pulls to the right. There is that big opening on the road. We wave. He waves back. No drama, no rush. Just two rigs finding their own rhythm. And that's the way it should be. Now we're leading the pack. Just us and the F-150 behind. That's the pack. And we're threading through Cedar Mountain's narrowest and most kind of technical stretch, because those are really big ruts and the washouts. And this trail is, still rocky, but very rutted. Really, really deep ruts here. But now we're the ones settling the pace, and he's following, by the way, closely. I'm happy about it. A couple of 100 yards ahead, we meet two ATVs. They are pulling to the side of the road, tucked into the forest edge. The road is really too narrow for anything else. The ruts here are deep. The washout, is quite significant from the rain and obviously the time. It's a canyon now, not just a trail. I thank them, I wish them a good day, and we roll on. But the terrain doesn't let up. It's off-camber in places, and the road tilts hard. We're driving in a V-shaped cup, tires riding on the two banks of the canyon, centerline, hollowed out by years of runoff and thread. The surface is, unforgiving. The surface is hard-packed from years of use and weather, but also layered with exposed rock. It is not just dirt anymore. It's a trail etched into stone, shaped by time and the elements. To the left, boulders. To the right, open forest tapes and scattered pine. The forest is all around us. Tall pines casting patchy shadows across the trail. It's like a moving mosaic. Sunlight flickers through the canopy, dancing across Roger's hood as we hold our line. And the V8 hums steady, confident. We're not just driving, we're in control, and every rut, every lean, every off-camber tilt, Roger handles with grace. That is the last stretch of Cedar Mountain Trail's most technical cut. Roger is dusty, Tanya is grinning behind the lens. And I'm just grateful for the trail, for the rig, and for the people we meet along the way today. We've got more trails ahead, and we'd love to have you all along. We travel, test, and explore with joy, and we film for you. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you've made it this far, thank you. We hope you felt the ruts, the rhythm, and the joy of the drive. And if you did, tap that like button, subscribe, share a comment, and see you in the next episode.